Okay, everybody, welcome to the Blythe Academy Orbit Middle School webinar. Thank you for joining. Today we'll be discussing our fully virtual grade 7 and 8 program. So first off, just to go through a bit of an agenda, I'm going to go over some things today. Who am I? What is Blythe Orbit Middle School? What does our day look like? Engagement and activities. What is a day in the life? And then finishing off with some Q&A. So who am I? My name is Alex Dominato. This is my 4th year at Blythe, 7th year in education. I'm currently the head of the Orbit Middle School, the grade 7 and 8 program, under Principal Michael Booth and Regional Principal Jennifer Corin. I'm the guidance counselor at Blythe Academy Waterloo campus. This is my full-time gig, and also a qualified teacher in English, French, and guidance subject areas. Fun fact about myself, I taught in grade 7 and 8 abroad for 2 years in St. Martin before I came to Blythe. And actually my old principal of my high school was the principal at Blythe when I came to Blythe Waterloo, Kathy Young, who's now at head office. So what is Orbit Middle School? Obviously you're here because you're interested in our grade 7-8 program, so I'll go over a few different points of the program. It is a fully synchronous virtual academic grade 7-8 program. Blythe is an accredited private school delivering Ontario courses. It is has engaging classes via Zoom and Google Classrooms. The student to teacher ratio is 10 to 1, though currently we have about 18 students at this current school year. We offer all core subjects, cross-curricular, and a foundations program, which is very unique to Blythe, which I'll mention later. We have students from all over Ontario and the world. The pathways into our Blythe campuses as well. So the nice thing about Orbit Middle School is that really it gives you the touch into all kind of how Blythe works, and then you can, from grade 8, go into one of our high school bricks and mortar campuses if you're looking to that as well. But we also have an Orbit High School. I want to give a little bit of a breakdown as to what our schedule looks like so you can get an idea for how the day runs. So we start every day at 8:30 and we go to 2:30 in the afternoon. No, that does not mean that we are on screen all day. We do have some tech-free breaks and some offline work periods as well. So typically we start off with homeroom, then we have 2 cohorts this year, both of 8 kids, I believe. The first cohort would go to language arts, the second cohort would go to math, and then they swap. They have a tech-free period, then they have French, then the afternoon, the other cohort would come to Miss Kitchen at the moment for language arts. They have a lunch period, and then in the afternoon we do cross-curricular projects. This is very unique to Blythe and very beneficial with critical thinking skills. So in this program, we do a lot of science, arts, geography, and history. And then what happens is there are a lot of independent study projects that the students work on with facilitation and check-in periods with the teacher. And this allows for a lot of creativity and sort of self-directed guidance, which is nice for the creative thinkers and also to explore a bunch of different subject areas. And then we finish off our day with foundations. So the foundations, I'll give you Mr. Gibson's schedule as well here. So the foundations in the last period is an hour, and that is unique to Blythe. The foundations is a program where we work through homework, we do games and activities, we allow for breakout rooms and different clubs on Wednesdays as well, which is really nice. It's just kind of an hour at the end of the day to sort of wrap things up and consolidate what we've learned throughout the day and allow for that additional time with the teachers and with the other peers as well. So in the cross-curricular and the foundations program, both cohorts come together. So that's also a nice time for the cohorts to be together and get to know each other as well, rather than being their separate cohorts with one teacher. They're in both periods with both teachers. So just a little sneak peek at some of the discussions that we do in class. We did a little filmed segment of one of our periods today. So this is one of our math classes. Okay, just to give you guys a bit of a sneak peek here as to what it looks like in our math period. So Miss Gibson would share her iPad screen and go through some of the math questions along with the students, whether it's a test or a lesson. The nice thing about this is we have the ability to see all the students on the right-hand side of the screen, and then we can share Miss Gibson's screen to go through the problem set.
So in the case of these, if we were to actually solve them, we would have 6x. Well, we just solved it in the previous question, actually. We don't need to redo the whole thing. X is greater than or equal to 2 includes the value of 2.
So this is just a nice little snippet as to what it looks like for the students on their screen, and then also for Miss Gibson on her screen. So it does allow us to see the students as they're working. We also use a program called NetOps that we can actually see what's on their screen as well. So if we do think they're struggling, we can definitely pop into their screen and make sure that that we can help and support the best we can without having to draw attention to the whole class, which is great. I won't make you watch all 9 minutes of this video, but it is just kind of a nice way to see how the iPad and the technology works and how the students see it on their screen as well.
Gave a question on the test, I would probably not make it like a full equation. I would just give you this and ask you about the difference.
So just another little sneak peek as well. So we love to make our kids think big. So this is in Miss Kitchen's language arts class. As you can see, we have very small class size. Everyone's on camera. Everyone's microphone is on. And this is just sort of a little snippet into what they've been talking about in their language arts program.
Okay, so let's talk about our question, which was the things we own define identities. Thoughts on that? Do the things we own that define our identities, yes or no? Armin?
Well, I disagree because I really think what defines our identity is like on the inside of us, if we're kind, nice, smart, all that stuff. But I do I think people can make assumptions on what we have. For example, like if we have a Lamborghini, some people might think we're like rich and all and happy and all that stuff. But I do strongly disagree because I think it's what's inside us that's what our identity is.
So this is one of the bigger questions that we ask. I mean, obviously not every day, but one of the examples that we'd ask in language arts. The nice thing is we have students putting their hands up if they want to share their ideas, and they all have their camera on, so then Miss Kitchen can engage with how they're thinking, what they all respond to with the other answers, and then it just really opens up this great dialogue, especially for 12 and 13-year-olds to sort of think critically and think outside the box, a sign that we really want to foster in our program. Okay, so for engagement and activities, being virtual student engagement is of the utmost importance. So we do require cameras on, as I mentioned. We do virtual field trips. On Wednesdays, we do offer clubs. So during that foundations period in the last hour of the day, we do have students having different clubs. So that is student driven. So if there's a club that they really want to explore, we definitely open it up to them. So one of the favorite ones is movie club. So they will all watch a movie or a series before Wednesday the next week, and then they'll discuss it, which is great. Art club as well, and some different book clubs, those kind of things. So in that foundations program that I mentioned earlier, this is from 1:30 till 2:30, 4 days a week, because the 5th day we do have clubs in the afternoon. This allows for homework time, breakout rooms, socializing, trivia, games, and one-on-one with teachers. So as I mentioned earlier, this is just a great sort of add-on with Blythe and what we do offer our students, because I do think it's a great way to consolidate, as I mentioned, the learning and also offer those one-on-ones with teachers, especially in a virtual setting when we do feel like sometimes you miss that personal engagement that you get in an in-person classroom. This really does give the students that opportunity to connect with their teachers and fellow peers one-on-one, which is really nice. We also do a lot of spirit days and offline days. So sometimes if we notice that the students are feeling a little screen fatigued, we do offer an offline day. So it's an independent sort of work period, and then they check in with the teachers before and after the period's over, just to make sure they're doing their work and we're keeping on top of them. Spirit days, so we'll do a bunch of themed dress up days, pajama day, kind of green and red day for Christmas or holiday seasons, international day, whatever we're looking for. So this is an example of one of our spirit days before the holiday break. This was our red and green day. So as you can see, everyone got quite dressed up in their homes, which was really nice. A lot of Santa hats in red, which was great to see. My apologies. So a day in the life. So this is something that we suggest that every student who's looking for our program does attend. This is a drop-in virtually to experience a day in the life. Students come to a partial day to see how the program runs and find out if we're a good fit for them and if you're a good fit for us. So this is where you can also meet with guidance, myself and the teachers, and then also have an experience to meet with the other students as well. Because we do offer the cross-curricular program and the foundations program, which is a little bit different than a lot of the public boards are doing, we do like to make sure that students are comfortable with our programming and how our day works. And then if they have any questions, they can obviously link it back to a practical experience in our classroom, so we can have a better dialogue as to if we are something that will work for them. So thank you so much for listening to my presentation. If there's any questions, I do suggest reaching out to myself personally or to admissions and making sure that we can cover any questions specific for your child, whether that's about how we implement IEPs, how we implement, just sort of learning strategies. specific questions to courses because you might be coming from a school that offered different programming than us, or just, sort of the virtual world in general. Thanks so much, and we hope to hear from you soon.